What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In today's quick marketing guide, we're going to be covering Mailchimp in 2022. Now, there are three sections in Mailchimp that I personally use, and we will be covering those today because they're the email marketing sections of Mailchimp, and those are your audience, your campaigns, and your automations. Now, when we cover each section, we'll go over their purpose and how you can best and most efficiently use them. But first, let's go over the dashboard. When you log into Mailchimp, you'll see this dashboard. It's going to show you your recent campaigns and how they did. It's going to show you changes in your audience by audience, and it's going to show you some other analytics and data here. Now, the first thing you're going to need to do when you create a new Mailchimp account, or if you're looking to use Mailchimp, is you need an audience. So we're going to go here on the left-hand side and click Audience. This is where we actually add our subscribers to our list. Now, obviously, we can't send emails if we don't have an audience. So you can see here, it's going to show your total contacts broken up by audience. You can have multiple audiences depending on which Mailchimp plan you have. With the free plan, I believe you can only have one audience. So what you'll need to do in order to create an audience is click over here on the right where it says Manage Audience. Click View Audience, and then Create Audience, and Create Audience right here. And then you're going to add an audience name. So let's do Test Marketing List. And then your default from email address. So this is going to be the email address that the email is sent from. So if someone gets an email from you, it will be your name at yourdomain.com, or it will be your name at gmail.com, or your business name at yourdomain.com, whatever you want it to be, team support, etc. It doesn't matter. This is the email that it will come from. So for this example, we will do test@test.com. And then your default from name. This is going to be the same thing. Who is it saying that the email is from in their inbox? So for me, we'll do my own name. So one quick tip here, typically emails that come from an actual person's name are going to get higher open rates than something that comes from a company, because we know when we see an email from a company, it's probably going to be salesy, etc. But if you get an email from a name specifically, you're going to say, oh, who's this? Let me open this email. So quick tip, obviously test them both. Campaign URL settings, we don't need to worry about that. So this is required right here. You need to remind people how they signed up for your audience. Now, legally, you cannot just go and get a bunch of emails and add them to Mailchimp and start sending them emails. They have to actually opt in somewhere. So you need to remind people how they signed up. So you'll select your list. So let's say we want to go with Master Marketing List. And we'll say you watched our webinar, signed up for our free lessons, or contacted us, basically telling them how we got their email. Here you can put in your business information. You can mess with some different settings here, enable double opt-in. So this is going to send contacts an opt-in confirmation when they subscribe to your email audience. So what this will do is when they subscribe, it's basically going to send them an email saying, hey, just wanted to make sure you meant to subscribe, and then they have to opt in a second time. Now, obviously, this will reduce the amount of people that you will have opt in, but it will also make your list much higher quality. So you have to ask yourself if you're going for quality versus quantity. It will also help your emails stay out of people's promotions or spam folders, and overall, it will build you a nicer, higher quality list and make sure that your emails actually get to people's inboxes instead of their spam or promo folders. So we're going to go ahead and enable this. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. Lately, I've been doing it more, especially since the iOS 15 update that affected email marketing. So notifications, these are notifications that you can actually have sent to yourself. So this is the email that this account is under. So if you want a daily summary of your email activity, one by one, etc., you can do that. I don't typically do this. Then you would go ahead and click save. I'm not going to save because I don't want to actually save this audience. So we'll go ahead and click cancel. So now that we have our audiences here, we're ready to send them some emails. So let's go back to our dashboard and we'll click campaigns. And under campaigns, all we have to do in order to send people an email is click create campaign. And Mailchimp's going to ask us what we want to do. I always go with regular email. This is just sending people an email, but you do have some awesome options here. You can do a sign up form. So if you want to get them to sign up for something, you can do that. You can do a survey. You can do an ad, social post, postcard, etc. Anytime I send out an email blast, I always go with regular email. So we'll do a regular email and we'll click design email. So this is where you select who your email goes to. So we'll click add recipients, and you just need to choose one of your audiences. So I would do master marketing list. Here you can personalize the to field. So basically, if the person who is receiving the email, their name is Mark, it's going to say, hey, Mark. But in order to do this, you do have to have their name in your contacts and their audience. Depending on how you're collecting your email addresses, you may not do that. Typically, we do not do it because a lot of times we're not collecting people's names. So that's totally up to you. Mailchimp does say that their data supports that, or proves that it gives you a 14% increase in click rate. So definitely worth trying out if you have the names listed with your contacts. So whatever you choose here, we'll just go ahead and click save. Now from is going to be the next thing. So because this is going to choose whatever you selected in the last section where you created your list and you did the default from email address, it's going to automatically put that in. But if you want to change it for a specific email, you can by clicking edit from. You can edit the name. So like we said, we may want to do my personal name because that may get a higher open rate. And then the email address we could edit as well. So we'll click save. Subject. So this is the subject line. When you get an email, it has a subject. So Mailchimp actually does a good job of kind of prompting you and how to create a good subject. And depending on which plan you have, I believe they give you more information. So you can see here they say try no more than 9 words, no more than 1 emoji, avoid more than 60 characters, avoid 3 punctuations, etc. So for this we'll do test subject. Now when you're thinking of a good subject line, think about what's going to get people to open the email. The email is not going to be worth anything if nobody opens it. So you want to make sure that your subject is not clickbaity or spammy, but does entice someone to open your email. Preview text. So this is when you receive an email and below the subject, you can see a line or 2 of text. So this is something that you can do to further increase open rates by writing some enticing text that really piques curiosity, and it cuts off right where you're going to give the value, or right where the punchline is, so to speak. Therefore, they're going to say, man, I need to see what that said. I need to finish reading that, and they're going to open the email. So another way to increase open rates. So once we've done what we want to do here, we'll click save, and then we go to actually designing the email. And this is where the magic happens, because depending on how your email is designed and the content in it, that's going to drastically impact the effectiveness of your email. So they have different default layouts here that you can use. They have different themes you can use. And then you can actually see past emails that you have sent, and you can save your own custom templates here, which is really nice. So if you have a certain template that you want to have all your emails look like, you can actually save that and then just go in and edit what needs to be edited specifically there. But for the sake of this video, let's go with a template. I like to start with one of these basic ones, and then the first thing I do is actually delete everything and start completely from scratch. So if we want to delete these blocks, we can just click the trash can, click delete, trash can, delete. Okay, so now we have a completely fresh email campaign, and all you have to do is select what you want and drag and drop it over. So oftentimes I like to start these off with an image at the top, something that's eye-catching, or what you could do is you could have a logo at the top. So let's say that we are going to be announcing this event right here. It already happened, but it will work for the sake of this test. So we're going to announce this live event, and we're going to put our image here. We can change the image size by simply dragging this circle. Let's stick with 100. We can go to style. We can round the corners. We can place a border on it. So some different stuff you can do. Typically, I just leave it default square. You can go to settings. You can change your margins. So we're going to change that margin, and then Retina image support. I don't typically touch that. All right, so we've got our image. We'll click save and close. The next thing I'm typically going to add is some text. Now, depending on who you are, a lot of people like to write books of emails, right? So they'll send you a huge long form email. For me personally, I like to stick with shorter and sweet content. I like to have an image like this that kind of explains what we're trying to do anyway, and then we can just reinforce that a little bit with our text. So basically what I would do here is just say something to the tune of, hey, on December 20th at 5 p.m. EST, we are hosting a fantastic Facebook Live. This is free. You can click the link below to watch live and ask your questions during this Q&A. Click the link below or the button below to join, etc. So obviously a bit more cleaner than that because I just did that on the fly, but basically you're just saying, hey, here's what we're doing. and click the button below if you want to be a part of it. So we'll add our text, and then we want to add our button. So we'll go to button, just drag that right below. You can change the text here. So let's say we wanted to do like join now, or something like watch free, whatever it is. And then we're going to link to a web URL. We would just paste the URL in right here. You can also link to an email address, anchor link, or file. And then we want to change the color here of this button. So we'll go to style, we'll go to color here, and we'll go to red. You can also add in a custom color code right here if you'd like. So we'll make this red, boom. And then I want to change the size. I want to make this bigger. So right here where it says size, we can change the size. Let's try 36. And then we can go to settings and we can mess with some different alignment things here, like so, center, width, full width, fit to text, so whatever you prefer. And then we can save that. And that's basically how we send most of our emails, because the bulk of our emails for this business are just letting our email list know that we're hosting free events and they're welcome to join those free events. Obviously, the goal of the free events is so they will eventually buy our course. So then if you're ready and done with your email, what you would do is click continue. And if you wanted to send the email, you would go right here and click send. Now it's not going to let us send because there's incomplete information here, right? It has placeholder text. And this is nice because if you accidentally add in text and it's placeholder, it actually won't let you send it until you customize it. So we could schedule that. If you are on a paid account, you can schedule these, or what we would do is just click send and send now. For now, I'm going to do finish later, and then after this video, I'm going to come back, or actually, I'll just delete it right here. So I'll show you guys how you can delete campaigns if you end up not sending it. So under your campaigns tab, it's going to show all your campaigns, and you can go through and see how they've done, etc. If you want to delete it, you're going to click this box right here and click delete, and then you're going to type delete. Boom, and it's gone. Okay, so here you can see your reports. So this is going to be your reports for every campaign that you've sent. It's going to show your open rate and your click rate. So an average open rate is about 20%. That's average across all industries. Specific industries will be different. So 20% is a good thing to shoot for. Average click rate, you want to shoot for about 2%. So as you can see with this specific industry and this specific list, the click rate tends to be extremely low, other than this one here. But shoot for, on average, I would say about a 20% open rate and a 2% click-through rate, and you're going to be, in the average. Okay, so the last thing we want to do here is create automations. So this is where we want to automate a sequence of emails that go to our leads. So like I said, if someone downloads your lead magnet, and then over the course of the next few weeks, you're going to send them one email a week, one email a day, whatever your frequency is, this is how you're going to do that, and it's going to be on autopilot. All you have to do is set it up. So we're going to go down here to the automations tab, and these are the new automation sequences that Mailchimp has. I personally am not a fan of them. I like the classic automation builder, but you can see a walkthrough video right here on this tab of how to use these. But for this video, we're going to go with at the top here under the Explore page where it says go to classic automations. We're going to go ahead and click that, and then we're going to click custom. So we're going to name the campaign. So let's say this is email list automation. You're going to select your audience. So we'll do our master marketing list, the list that we just created. So just so you know, you can have your list being sent in automation and also send them an email blast. So everyone that goes on our master marketing list gets a sequence of emails. But then if we have a live event like we just showed you in the campaign creation, we're going to blast that out to everybody. So you'll go with begin. And here is the next page. So as you can see, it's going to show your first email right here. And the first thing we want to go through is edit the trigger. So the trigger is basically how soon after someone is added to this list do they get this first email. So the ideal scenario is someone gets your lead magnet, and then you have an automation set up where they get added to your master marketing list. And then you can choose to wait 1 day, 1 hour, 1 week. You could have it be immediately. You could customize this to 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 hours, whatever you want. And whatever you put here, however long you put here, once they join this list, they will get this first email. So for this, we'll do immediately, and we'll update trigger. And then we just need to go in and we can change the schedule. So this is basically saying, if they join your email list at 4 a.m., do you want to send them that email at 4 a.m.? If you want to only send during certain hours, you can actually do that as well. You could add tags, but we're not going to worry about that right now. And the next thing we want to do is design the email. So this is going to be the same email design process, more or less, that we just showed you. So you're going to name your email, and this is internal use only, as you can see. So this could even just be email 1, and then maybe you put what it is, so like a welcome email. So you're going to put in your email subject, we'll just do test, and then your preview text. This is all the same stuff that we talked about before when we created the campaign. And then here's your from name. It's going to put whatever your default is, and then here's your from email address. We'll go ahead and click next. So same thing we went through before. I'm just going to use one of our default campaigns here that we've already sent, but you're going to go through, select your template. You're going to build your campaign out the same way that we just showed you. And then what you're going to do is click save and continue. And boom, you've got your first email. If you want to add another email, you can just click add another email. And then this trigger is going to be wait X amount of time after they received that first email. Okay, so after subscriber was sent previous email. So if you want to send someone an email every day, you could do that. If you want to wait 3 days, if you want to wait a matter of hours, whatever it is, just keep in mind who your audience is and try not to spam them, etc. Some audiences are built to receive daily emails over a period of time. Most are not. We typically space ours out a few days. So you'd go ahead and update that trigger, and then you would just go through the same thing, and you can just keep adding emails that way until you have as many emails as you'd like. If you have, let's say you create 10 emails, and then down the road, you want to add more emails, you can do that by going to My Journeys under the Automation tab, and you could see your journey right here. And you can go ahead and edit it, and what it will do is it'll actually pause it. You can add more emails, change up current emails, and then you just resume the campaign. So that's the basics of Mailchimp, how to create lists, how to create email blasts, and how to create basic automations. Hope this video was helpful. If you're interested in more quick and easy and simple straight to the point marketing tutorials, do consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel, and we'll see you next time.